And welcome back, everyone, to Who Would Win Speed Round number. I'll look it up in the comments, I'll put it up in the playlist later. And so let's just get into it right now. We're starting off with where are you? Nemesis Slasher, I think it's 1356 or something like that. Nemesis Slasher. That's the question. Who do I think wins in a fight, Bowser or Skeletor? This one I think goes to Bowser. We know just on a power scale, Bowser just trumps. Skeletor's kind of like limited to one world in terms of his power, and even then, I don't know if you could call him fully planetary. Bowser, though, has literally nearly conquered the entirety of his universe before. He is a master sorcerer, and not to mention, physically a big comparison to Skeletor, and he can even come back from just as being a skeleton. So, yeah, that'd be Bowser, definitely. Then, coming to us from 87-8G, we have who wins in a fight, the Dragon Sword or Godzilla. I will say this, the only versions of the Godzilla that could probably be beaten by the Dragon Sword, could beat, I guess is the better way to put it, would be the Showa era and the 1998 movie one. Otherwise, Heisei, Monsterverse, Ultima, the anime, I'd even go so far as to argue Shin and Zero One. All of them just reach levels of power, durability, and scale that the Dragon Sword just really can't compete with. So I would definitely say Godzilla wins that fight. Then from, let's see, Joshua McDuffel, we have the question of who wins in a fight. Benimaru from Fire Force, show I haven't watched, versus Endeavor from My Hero Academia. That being said, I do know Benimaru scares to a planetary level feat. Endeavor does not even remotely come close. To be honest, there really isn't anyone in My Hero who has ever displayed a true planetary level feat. Even Shigaraki, for all of his power, and by that extension, All for One when he possesses Shigaraki, using Decay, he probably couldn't decay the entire planet, even if he tried. But yeah, Shinra, on the other end, not Shinra, but Benimaru has a confirmed planetary level feat. So I believe he fights someone who was about to destroy the planet with a power, and he just counters it with his own attack. So yeah, he's planetary, so he'd win. Then coming to us from The Mask, we have who wins in a fight, Leatherface or Victor Crowley. One is a beefy hillbilly with a chainsaw who can throw hands, versus a Revenant, a spirit that keeps coming back and coming back and coming back, who's frankly much stronger than a normal human, tears people apart with his bare hands, not just his hatchet. Even if you kill him, he'll just respawn at his spawn point. Yeah, no, Victor Crowley wins that one, hands down. And then coming to us from, let's see here, Cameron Clovis? Hancock versus Boa Hancock. Okay, this is one where I can actually take a minute or two to actually think on this. Because if we're talking raw physicality, there's no question Hancock would rip her apart. But her devil fruit, which I can't remember the name of it right off the top of my head, allows her to petrify and turn people to stone those who find her attractive or, love in any capacity on any level at any time. All she has to do is even touch them or hit them with a wave. So the question is, Hancock, who occasionally could, get some, would he just look at her and go, it's like, damn, she's fine. Too bad I gotta kill her. And then be like, oh, you poor man, just hit him and turn him and petrify him. Or would he knock her ass out first? And it all depends on his attitude at the time. If he's maybe in like a slightly sober position, then yeah, I could say yes, he would just clock her. Because he's a bit, if he's in a more sober position, that she takes him out. Because he's a little bit more clear-minded, he's not as, hazy, not as drunk, he can think more clearly, and therefore his actual thoughts can come more to the forefront. But if he's drunk and just in a pissy mood, he's just going to lay her out. So I think it's a one shot, one way or the other, but it all depends on when you catch them. All right, then, coming to us from, almost missed this last one on this page. From, that was Cameron Close. That one was Trenton the Skeleton. My apologies. Trenton the Skeleton gave me the Hancock one. This one is Cameron Close, who asked the question, who was in a fight? Third Hokage Hiruzen Sarutobi versus Genro Yusai Yamamoto. This is no question. Genro Yusai slaps the entire verse, without even going Bankai without even. We're talking about a guy who literally, with his Bankai, could burn down the entirety of the Soul Society. Not the Seireitei, the Soul Society, which is a separate dimension of reality. This is a man who, A, moves well beyond light speed regularly, casually, can burn down the entirety of a city, no problem, without any difficulty whatsoever, knows every single Kido under his list, is a physical tank in comparison to Hiruzen. Hiruzen may arguably have more versatility, but it doesn't matter if you can't hit Yamamoto. And if Yamamoto actually decides to use his Bankai, he is now enveloped in a layer of heat as hot as the sun that nothing in Naruto could get through. We've never seen a feat from Naruto, as far as I know, where there's a sun level feat. Kaguya is the only one you can make an argument has any sort of like planetary to dimensional level feats up until the Great Shinobi War. Now, again, there are statements saying that the Kyuubi is planetary, but it's the problem. People say there are statements, but no actual visuals. But Bleach, well, guess what? The Kurama being planetary, there's no actual statement. There's no feat for Kurama being planetary. It's just statements. So if you're going to take that as fact, you got to be able to take the statements here as fact. But yeah, Sarutobi, the only thing Sarutobi has that could, in theory, do anything is the Reaper Death Seal. And even then, that's a suicide move. So it is in the best case scenario, it's a draw. And that's assuming he overpowers Yamamoto's soul, to be frank, which I doubt he would. Yamamoto is well over 2,000 years old. He is a hard-bitten warrior and killer, even way beyond the point of Sarutobi. Like, I do not think this is in question at all. So yeah, Yamamoto clears. Then coming to us from, we got here, Clark Kent 45, Edward Cullen versus Michael Myers. I know a lot of you want me to say, but the sad truth is, Michael Myers gets his throat chewed out, literally. Edward, we know, literally moves faster than the eye can see for many normal humans. He is far stronger even than what we've seen from Michael Myers, casually tearing a tree out by the roots and throwing it, duking it out with werewolves. He can read minds. And throw hands, and then he can obviously just go for your throat and drink your blood, all that. He'd really just tear Michael Myers apart. Michael Myers is just not that. Even if it's Cult of Thorn Michael, it's not like he can really do anything against Edward. Even if he hits him with a knife, it's really not that much of a death sentence to be hit with a knife, unless for some, because there's the lore, vampire lore in Twilight is very different than normal vampire lore. So yeah, no, Edward clears that. Then coming to us from Kidvid 2000 something, Kidvid, Leon Kennedy versus Patrick Bateman. This is Leon Kennedy would put a bullet in Patrick Bateman's head. That's end of story. Moving on. sorry, Kidvid. Not single, yeah, but there are viewers like you who do give me just these. I don't want to use the term stupid. These nonsensical what ifs that serve no point as other than to make it onto the speed round. And I'll be honest, there are some of them that I've just said, no, I'm not taking that anymore. So, yeah, just like you can give me your suggestions. I don't necessarily have to do them. I generally do, but still. Then we got from Quentin Blake, Simone the Digger from Gurren Lagann. I don't have Ultima here, but the Godzilla Ultima is what you were asking. This is also interesting because Godzilla Ultima obviously has the causality negation. Like, he can literally just negate things that happen to him. The problem is that the Godzilla universe, while having its own multiverse, certainly it doesn't have the extra dimensional layers beyond that, as we see in Death Battle, as they kind of broke that down, which is one of the reasons the Hulk ultimately won. Simone the Digger literally goes like beyond breaking dimensions. He literally is immune to existence erasure on a literature level. Like, that's how like broken he is. I do think he would overwhelm the entity that ultimately powers Godzilla Ultima. And so, yeah, I'd go Simone the Digger on that. Then coming to us from, where are you? Nate M. Jones. We have Virgil from Devil May Cry versus Cal Kestis from Jedi Fallen Order. Virgil wins. Cal is a Jedi, yes, and he's certainly got a lightsaber, which is cool, and can use the Force, but Virgil and Dante are relatively equal to each other, and Virgil has way beyond planetary feats. Dante is way beyond planetary feats, and ergo so does Virgil in that sense. If he scales, then there you go. And Virgil just has more experience. He has a regenerative healing factor. It's not really a contest. And then we have from Katrina Shoemaker, Mephisto versus Freddy Krueger. Could Krueger haunt Mephisto's dreams, or does Mephisto basically make Freddy his bitch? I personally think it's the latter. Mephisto is someone who went toe-to-toe with Galactus, of all people. And even if he did somehow get into Freddy's nightmares, this is a guy who's a master of sorcery. Like, you and I talk about the whole dream demon shit. Like, dream demons. Bring them up here. What the hell is he? Yeah, this guy. You one of yours? He's trying to skulk through my head. It's like, what are you doing? Oh, well, we didn't. Shut up. Yeah. Mephisto would frankly make mincemeat of Freddy Krueger, to be honest. Like, even the dream stuff doesn't matter to Mephisto. He doesn't really sleep anyway. All right, then. Then coming to us from, and we're in the final stretch, and I'm going by fast today. Black Barton? We have Pennywise versus the Grinch. I think this comes from the whole Grinch night thing, where he does this bag of tricks and all that, and it's horrifying and it's scaring people. I think the Grinch ultimately it loses in that fight, though. Pennywise is a monster beyond something the Grinch would be able to handle, personally. Then we got Zeus from God of War versus Raiden from Mortal Kombat from Double Edizo. Now, okay, now this actually comes more down to the question of lore and scaling. One's an elder god, one is also a god. The lore in the fight, Kratos and him shook the cosmos and the heavens fighting. Personally, I lean more towards Zeus in this fight. Because while Raiden is an elder god, with his own power alone, he has not done the feats that say, like, Zeus has. At least from what we've seen in the God of War games. If we're talking about with the power of the one being, then we could have a very different argument. But the fact is, Raiden with his own power has not really been shown to scale in the same way to Zeus. So I'll go Zeus in that fight, personally. Then we have from Brandon F. Phoenix Force Doom with the Phoenix Force Doom with the Phoenix Force versus Golden Frieza. Might as well make it Frieza Black, and it's kind of irrelevant because the Phoenix Force slaps exist within every multiverse across all time, past, present, and future simultaneously. Like, that's then you had Dr. Doom, who is a master of magic, science, all that. No, even Frieza isn't standing up to that. Just give me Dr. Doom versus Golden Frieza, and then we can have a conversation. Doom that'd actually be a closer fight than you would think. But no, Doom with the Phoenix Force would slap. Then, and we're on our last three, folks. Oh my god, I'm so happy. From Yeji World, we have Itachi Uchiha versus Batman. If it's just a random encounter, Itachi slaps Batman. He's got no counters for the Genjutsu from the Sharingan whatsoever. Hell, he would dead stare Itachi in the face and then get caught in the Genjutsu. And then Itachi probably wouldn't even care about Batman and leave. And so Itachi wins that. If we're allowing Batman prep, the problem just simply comes down to it. Apart from a chakra illness that was killing him, he doesn't actually have a clear weakness. Batman's best strategy to beat him would be to tire him out. That said, if you factor in tech like the the final bat suit or the Doomsday one, I can't remember the one that uses his own metabolism, the one he beat Darkseid's ass with. If you're factoring those suits in, you're talking about suits that are now work on like multiversal levels, like the final bat suit and the Hellbat suit. That's what the Hellbat, which smacked around Darkseid. If you assume Itachi can beat Darkseid, well, then you could maybe still make an argument. The only thing that would really work in his favor against Batman with those suits would be the Tosca Blade, which Batman would not have a clear answer for, even with those suits. But Batman's probably not stupid enough. Like, if the suit's going to be absorbed by the Tosca Blade, especially the final bat suit, which is a lot larger and could be stabbed without Batman himself being stabbed, Batman will quickly get out of the suit and then let it be absorbed and then go after the tired Itachi. But either way, I'd still lean towards Itachi in this fight. Then we have from, let's see here now, William Schubrick, the Name Eater from Creepypasta versus Giordano, what's his name again? God. Oh, Giordano Giovanni. Okay, so with Gold Experience Requiem, all that, like super powerful reality warping, almost universal level power, even laws of reality, physics, all that. The Name Eater, though, is a really unique see, this is the kind of story from Creepypasta I can dig on for verses. To describe the Name Eater real quick, he was a sorcerer. Name Eater, hold on. Name Eater Creepypasta. Creepypasta. Okay. The Name Eater is the main antagonist of the titular Creepypasta story. It's revealed the Name Eater was originally an immensely powerful sorcerer who essentially literally ate his own name. He ate the concept of his own name. And because he did that, he now exists within a state between existence and non-existence. It's a very weird character, to say the least, but it's he's allegedly is immensely powerful in his own realm. But because of his very nature, it's next to impossible to kill him. Because he doesn't exist because he doesn't have the same level of existence as other individuals. He neither exists nor he doesn't. He's something else. He's essentially it's an acausal existence, more or less. It's something outside the realms of natural understanding. So yeah, and therefore, like, standard things wouldn't do a damn thing to him. Even Giorno's abilities probably wouldn't do a damn thing to him because it's just his state of his being. So I go the Name Eater just because of how weird it would be to just fight against him. At last, but certainly not least, I'm sorry. This was from Beerus Le Mord End. That's who did this one. The one who was William Schubrick was actually Shovel Knight versus Shantae. And I think I did Shantae once before. I'd go Shantae because I feel like Shovel Knight will just exhaust a lot of his options before he's ever able to really do any damage to her. And she'll be able to keep her distance. I think she can fly, if I remember correctly. So I'd go Shantae in that fight. Otherwise, that's my thoughts. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time.